Hello, hello, and welcome back to our channel for week 4 of the Sideline Spice Power Rankings update, courtesy of the boys at the Vault Studio. I'm Ryan, and that handsome face alongside me is Luca.
Glad someone thinks so. Hey, how's it going?
Good. As always, you can find our complete rankings by checking out the link below. But for now, a crazy week of games means a lot of new winners and losers to discuss. So without further ado, I'll take the liberty of kicking us off tonight with our first winner, the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, they looked really, really impressive. I think they've surprised all of us at Sideline Spice with their start despite injuries.
Yeah, it may not always be pretty. In fact, last week it was downright ugly. But for the second consecutive week, the Titans have beaten a consensus top 10 team and expected Super Bowl contender, really, beating the Philly Eagles 26-23 in overtime. Mariota back for his first start since leaving through game 1, threw for 344 yards and 2 touchdowns. He ran for a score, and it's arguably not even the most impressive aspect of the victory. I mean, trailing 23-20 in overtime, and on the last drive of the game, converted 3 fourth downs, including the game-winning touchdown pass to Corey Davis. This team has been seriously hit by injuries across its offensive line the whole of this young season, but now, really against all odds, finds itself at 3-1 and in pole position in the AFC South, right as they start getting some key players back into the rotation. Will they be here come season's end? Who knows? But what I do know is we've underrated them greatly thus far, and they finally received their just reward, moving up 6 places to 15 in our rankings. They head way north this week to face Buffalo and should really, considering the wins they've had so far, expect to walk away with another one on the board.
Yeah, 4-1's a pretty good start in a division that everyone thought would be hotly contested at the end of the season. Now, speaking of good starts to hotly contested divisions, it brings us to our next winner, the Chicago Bears. Now, I'm sorry to say, Ryan, this is an obituary for Fitzmagic. He's dead.
More on that later.
He's dead everywhere except on Ryan's fantasy teams. You know, he's very heavily invested in the Buccaneers. Now, Trubisky threw for a career-high 6 touchdowns. Aside from last game, I think he's only thrown for 2 touchdowns once in his career. So, you know, this game was definitely an outlier, and he feasted on the Buccaneers' 31st ranked defense. So now, Khalil Mack, what can we say about him? He got another sack, another forced fumble. So that's actually, and I'm not exaggerating these numbers, in 4 games he's got 5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, a pick, and 2 touchdowns. He's actually on an...
I think I read that he's the only player in NFL history to have 4 consecutive games with a forced sack fumble to open a season.
Yeah,
Huge.
Look, I know that JJ Watt came close to winning the MVP a few years ago with his monstrous 20-something sack year. But if ever an MVP is going to win it again, the award, this is a year. Mack's been, for me, he's been the best player in the NFL. And the scary thing is that the Bears actually did this with Allen Robinson and Jordan Howard not really doing very much. I mean, they were paced by your boy, Tariq Cohen, 7 receptions, 121 yards, touchdown. I think he had 53 yards on the ground as well. Taylor Gabriel as well went for 7 receptions, 104 yards, 2 touchdowns. And my boy Trey Burton with a few receptions, 86 yards, a touchdown. So, it wasn't even their main contributors at Payson, which is a very, very scary prospect for teams facing them in future weeks. Now, they've got the bye coming up. But, yeah, I think I'm a believer in these Bears. You are too. We've ranked them appropriately this week. And side note, I'm heavily invested in them in fantasy. So, I'm not just blowing smoke up them. I genuinely think that they're a good team.
They look seriously dangerous. If the offense can play anywhere near as well as the defense, they're going to go far. Now, honourable mentions. We've only got 2 winners this week, 2 honourable mentions. I must preface this as the team here at Sideline Spice, and by team I mean Luca and I really, fought tooth and nail over who should be included as our final winner. So in the interest of diplomacy, we've decided to forego our third in lieu of 2 honourable mentions, the first of which is the Cincinnati Bengals. Say what you will about the manner of their 37-36 victory on the road against the Falcons, Luca, but the Bengals now have 3 impressive performances And 2, sorry, Indy, impressive results on their scorecard with wins against the Ravens and the Falcons, 2 top 15 teams in our rankings. This was arguably our most underrated team coming into the season, and now they've settled into number 10 on our big board, and that makes them a winner.
Just quietly, I had them the highest ranked out of everyone at Sideline Spice at a mighty 27th. So everyone else had them 30th or below. So, Bengals, I believed in you. Having said that, I've been called the homer for this. And look, sometimes, I love my Baltimore Ravens, but ask Ryan, when Joe Flacco plays bad, he will hear every bad word that you could think of coming from me will come out of my mouth. And I'm brutally realistic when it comes to my Ravens. I have low expectations for them coming into the season, but they really impressed me on the weekend. I mean, they held, say what you want about this Steelers team, but holding anyone to 47 total yards of offense at their home ground in an entire half with no points it blows me away.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and the Steelers' offense has been putting up numbers all season before this game. So while they've got defensive struggles, it's not like their offense has been any slouch, even without Bell. And I think the Ravens are the either 1 or 2 ranked defense now for the season. They destroyed the Broncos last week, who looked impressive in defeat against the Chiefs. And now they're coming into week 5, going up against my boy Baker Mayfield and the Browns, in which, look, sorry, Bake, but I fully expect you to get a real welcome to the league Baltimore style. Looking forward to that one. It will be horrifying, I hope.
All right, so which brings us to the losers. First of all, Miami Dolphins. Miami, this was your shot. This was your chance. You were 3-0. You're going into the castle against an enemy that's weak and retreating. This is your chance to claim the land, and you lay a goose egg. Come on. Yes, your schedule has been on the easy side so far, but this was your chance to take a massive lead in the AFC East division, less than a quarter of the way into the season, and instead you go and confirm our reasons for hesitating to boost you so high to begin with, losing 38-7 with 172 total yards and a consequent loss of 7 places in our rankings. Against this Patriots defense, in their situation with what they've been dealing with so far, that, sir, makes you a loser.
I love the vitriol, Ryan, and I agree with all those points. I mean, we were hesitant to rank the Dolphins as high as we did. We wanted to give them respect for their record. They came in, showed us that they are who we thought they were against the Patriots. Which brings us to our next loser. This is a team I love to tee off on. Teeing off on the Steelers is one of my favourite things in life, but I'll keep it short and sweet. Their defense has been an absolute mess since Ryan Shazier went down to that horrific injury. They're ranked 30th in the league for the season. No signs of improving internally or externally. It's not the steel curtain of old. Their offense had been holding their season together, but as I mentioned before, it fell apart in the second half against Baltimore. Le'Veon Bell, the straw that stirs a drink, isn't returning until week 8, in which case, I mean, the Bengals and the Ravens have both started hot. The division could be out of reach by the time Bell suits up. Good job, buddy. You've left us hanging to dry for half a season. You come back to collect your fat paycheck when the season's already done. That's what I'd be thinking if I was a Steelers player as well.
Come on now, I'd be thinking I just want to get paid to secure my health. But anyway, let's not get into this again.
That would be what Le'Veon Bell's thinking. Big Ben hasn't looked like himself either. He's missed throws that have normally killed the Ravens. Even Antonio Brown looked off. And look, they're going up against your Falcons, who are 1-3 in Heinz Field. And the thing is, look, the Falcons are decimated by injuries. This is as good an opportunity as Pittsburgh will have to get their season back on track. If they falter to the Falcons, could be 3 games off the pace. I'd be almost ready to say that their season's done.
Yeah, that's a big call. But yeah, which brings us to our final loser. It brings me great sadness to say this. But finally, it appears Fitzmagic's reign of terror is over. As suddenly and as powerfully as it swept through the NFL and our hearts, it's exited just as swiftly. Yes, we can talk all day about the 3 interceptions, the 4 allowed sacks, one of which was a strip sack courtesy of Khalil Mack. But that's not even the worst part of this whole experience. This defense was flat out awful. I'm talking Luca, New South Wales State League bad. Consider for a moment that Mitch Trubisky had 6 touchdown passes, including 5 in the first half, when he had never thrown for more than 2 in an entire game before. But you also allowed 483 yards of total offense against a Bears team that, despite having some good pieces, has never remotely been known as an offensive powerhouse. This one ended 48-10 in favor of the Bears, and frankly, it should have been far, far worse, if you can even believe that. Fitzmagic, we will forever miss you and your ridiculous history-making start to the 2018 season. It's been a hell of a ride. Bucks, welcome back to reality, the losers column.
And this brings us to our dishonourable mentions. Now, I've made a last-minute addition to them. Firstly, Ryan, how dare you tee off on the New South Wales League? It's a reputable football league with some very good ballers, and we play very, very hard every Saturday. Shame on you. Now, to my next dishonourable mention, Cortland Sutton. Now, I don't need a script for this. I haven't even prepared words. I'm just going to speak from my heart. You've got 16 seconds left in the game. You've just made a first down. You try to lateral the ball. What are you doing, buddy? Look, I know that the chances of getting to the line and clocking the ball and having one shot at the end zone was slim, but there's still a higher percentage, surely, than a lateral as you're getting tackled to a guy who didn't even look like he was expecting a lateral.
He definitely wasn't.
He wasn't. No way was he expecting that. If it was a drawn-up play for a lateral, totally get it. But he's like, oh, here, I've made a first down. I'm going to attempt a lateral last minute. My God, what a sickening way for an amazing game to end. Cortland Sutton, shame on you. Dishonourable mention.
Look, I don't even know what to say to that. Sorry, Cortland, but I have to agree.
Now, we're going to end on a positive note because that's about all time we have for today. So now, if you liked what you heard, hateful, positive or otherwise, want to check out more of us, leave a like and subscribe. We're only new, so every small token of your support makes a big difference to us. Now, if you're viewing this on the Vault's Facebook feed, our YouTube channel should be linked somewhere in the comments below. Now, additionally, all our socials, as well as those of our friends at the Vault Studio, can be found in the description below. That's all from Ryan and I. Until next time, catch you later, guys.
Cheers, guys.